Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading, and today is January 14, 2025, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, U.S. markets bounce back. We're going to say, and we're going to look why I say that, but first, looking at today's major economic events. So at 3:30 South African time from the United States, on the producer side, we have a inflationary report called the PPI, Producers Price Index. Now looking at the market, starting out with the Forex symbols, the major pairs get a small bounce versus the US dollar. And conversely, looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ both get a bounce to the upside. Now looking at commodities, we're watching oil gaining and holding to its gain while natural gas actually sliding and selling off. Now looking at the stocks, JP Morgan and Tesla push higher. And lastly, look at our cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin remains unchanged. So let's take a look at markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Euro USD. Now the point is that yes, is it still in a downward spiral? 100%. It has not changed. It's still retracing on the downside and selling off. But I got a little bit of a bounce, okay? And the new low that we just made was a smaller low. So we may find ourselves consolidating in this area. It might fake us out in a week or so. But for now, we're going to be consolidating, okay? Because that's just the reality of where we're at. Look at a weekly chart. You can see that we hit all the way down to 190-ish level. Okay, 107, 101.77 level even. So a pretty decent descent, okay, about 50 pips day to day, but nothing really to write home about. Now looking at the GBP USD, same story, and less of a bounce here, which is a little bit disconcerting for the GBP. It's usually stronger versus the dollar than the euro is compared to each other. Now looking at the Canadian dollar, also getting a little bit stronger here as it's finding this footing. And this is all happening after Trudeau is saying that he's going to resign from the party and from his premier. So this is going to be kind of interesting how this still unfolds. And we have tariffs coming in from the United States. Trump threatening that he's going to put tariffs on Canada if things don't change, and they pay their fair share, according to him. All right, so looking at commodities, let's take a look first at natural gas, because this is really a very volatile commodity. It's pushing further down here to 378. It filled that gap and then it broke it further. It looked like it was going to bounce above it. This was a hard trade because it looked like it was going to bounce right here, okay? And then it didn't bounce and it didn't sustain itself. And it used that 8-day moving average as a resistance and broke further down. We did consolidate for a little bit, but using that resistance-ish level for that breakout and then further breaking down. Now looking at a 4-hour chart, we're getting close to our 30-day moving average. So that's an important on the 4-hour chart. And on the daily, we still have way to go. So this is relatively still strong on a daily. Okay, so it may still have some upside potential, maybe a spike. We'll see. Okay, but it has had very big moves recently. I mean, those candles are huge, you know, for a daily chart. You can see that going from 433 down to 380. That's a big move for natural gas. Now looking at the U.S. markets first, the NASDAQ pumping itself up above 21,000, showing some strength there. Looking at the Dow Jones also showing some decent strength yesterday, going from 42,000 up to 42,600 with pre-market trading this morning. The markets are up, so this is huge for both of them. Now looking at the individual stocks, Tesla was a big one, did close above 403. That's major for Tesla. I know it doesn't look like it on these graphs because it's trading, you know, in like $30 ranges, okay, which is huge, okay? It's 10% of the actual stock, okay? For it to trade like that is big. Looking at JP Morgan, also gaining here on the upside to 244. Let's see if the momentum continues later today. Now, the rest of the stocks really are very mixed. But lastly, let's take a look at Bitcoin coming out today with 93,000 really unchanged, really consolidating at the lower end, I might add. Let's see what happens to the tech stocks. That usually is an impetus to push Bitcoin higher. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.